Boom! What's up, fam? Anthony Dream Johnson here, founder of 21 Studios, 21 Convention, 22 Convention, 21 University, here on the scene with 21 News in Miami, Florida, welcoming the one and only king of toxic masculinity himself, back to the channel, back to 21 Studios, Andrew Cobra Tate. How you doing,
It's been
man?
a long time.
Yeah,
How
man.
long has it been? It's been years.
About 2 years.
2 years since our first interview was in Warsaw, wasn't it?
That's right.
2 years. It's been an absolutely long time, but I'm glad I retained the title. You even brought me a hat.
Fuck yeah.
So I retained the title, which is good to know. It's not easy. It's hard to become champ,
Yep.
and it's harder to stay champ. So I've been working hard on my toxic masculinity, as you know.
Absolutely. Fuck yeah. So first things first, what's the context? Why are you in America? Why are you in Florida? What's with the War Room Summit? What's going on?
Yeah, so I'm in Florida, which turns out to be the last decent place in America. I was kind of anti-American. If anyone follows my socials, I was saying, look, it's not a free country anymore. You don't even get a vote. They take all your money in taxes. Leave, leave, leave. But I kind of understand Florida. I get it. I like Florida. I like Miami. We're here. We have a War Room convention. War Room's my private network. And we have 50 guys. About 30 of them are from America, and 20 of them internationally managed to get in. Some of them jumped some serious hoops to get here.
Damn.
We had one guy from Europe who had to quarantine in Mexico for 2 weeks. So he flew to Mexico for 2 weeks, sat in Mexico for 2 weeks just to get in here. So we have a lot of guys here, and we're doing the summit here. We have 3 big mansions here in Miami, and we're discussing the realities of the world. So if the Manosphere is the red pill about women, the War Room is the red pill about how the world really works, financial and all the other things that's coming, which we can get into a bit later on with the control mechanisms.
Oh, yeah.
I'll go Alex Jones. Don't make me go Alex Jones on you, but I will. I will.
I got about 50 hot seat questions to put you in.
Okay, I'm
It's
ready.
gonna be good.
Don't worry, I'm ready for it.
So first things first, we said 2 years since I last saw you in Poland, of all
Yep.
places, Warsaw, Poland. You came out, I really appreciate that too.
Yep.
I was there scouting for the convention we did in that summer, 21 convention. 2 years have gone by since then.
Yep.
2019 was whatever. 2020 was fucking nuts though.
Yep.
Talk to me about 2020, what you thought from the get-go until the end of that shit show.
2020 taught me. So I never had much faith in humanity, right? I never had much faith in people overall. But if my faith level was around, let's say, 0, 2020 has managed to lower that bar deep into the negatives, deep into the caves of idiocy. I couldn't believe what's happened in 2020. I've lost all faith in humanity in 2020. I totally understand how the Nazis got away with how the Nazis got with the stuff they did, right? People always say, well, why did the German people allow them to do all these things? Well, you allowed the government to close your business. You allowed the government to muzzle you. You allowed the government to control where you can go, what time you must be home. So you're no better than them. And we're living in the age of information. I completely learned a lot about human nature during 2020. I always knew it, but it was a very stark reminder that the majority of people, they are designed to be led. That's what they are. They just comply, and they're sheep and they follow. We talk about the red pill all the time. If you watch the movie The Matrix, Morpheus says it. Most people are so dependent on the system, they will fight to defend it. Most of the mask mandates, most people enforcing other people to wear a mask weren't police. It's the idiots who bought so deep into the system.
The Karens and the sheep.
The Karens, they become the agents, right? This is like the Matrix. It's come true.
Yep.
I lost all faith in humanity this year. I cannot believe on what level people will just instantly comply. And I'm not big on books, but I've read 1984, and in the book 1984, he says, people are so reliant on and trusting in the party that they ignore their own eyes. They believe what they're told. And that's completely and utterly COVID. Do you see a pandemic? Have you seen one sick person?
Well,
are there lines outside the hospital?
Exactly.
If they weren't saying pandemic on the news, would you know you're in a pandemic?
Yeah.
No, you're ignoring your own vision.
You deserve a lot of credit because you were one of the first guys that was the most aggressive against how stupid and scammy. It was a huge scam, COVID, from the get-go.
From the get-go.
It took like a few weeks. You were like immediate, like a scam.
From the absolute get-go, yeah. Because now most people understand I was right, yeah? But from the absolute get-go, I said, I don't buy this.
Yeah.
There's videos of people dropping dead in the street in China. And now they got these movies that keep playing of Italy over and over again, the Italian hospital. But then that same movie was appearing in the French hospital. I was like, okay, this is all fake news anyway. And I just had the impression, but part of me, obviously I couldn't completely and utterly discern whether COVID was dangerous or not at the beginning. But I had two basic schools of thought. And my basic schools of thought were this. If COVID only kills 1% of the population, and if the symptoms are very similar to flu or pneumonia, then there's no way that the Chinese or the World Health Organization would have instantly identified it as a new virus. People would have been getting the virus, nothing would have happened to them. The few that died, they would have been like, okay, pneumonia. It would have taken a while before they actually realized and identified an individual strain. So my logic was, okay, we're talking about the virus now. The virus has probably been around for a year. And people have been traveling, masks weren't being worn, the world was fully open. And because humans are not nearly as smart or as quick as you think we are, right? So I decided, me and Tristan sat there and goes, there's no way they instantly identified this virus on the first ever death. So this virus must have been around for a while, and we've been fine, so we're going to continue to be fine. That was the first school of thinking. And the second school of thinking is, even if it is dangerous, it's never going to go away. How long does a lockdown last? When the lockdown, this is what I'd love to ask a liberal. When the lockdown's over, is COVID gone? Or is it still out in the world? Like, nothing changes on any level. So if the virus is going to exist forever, then I'm going to catch it sooner or later. So let's go Sweden and fuck some girls. What the fuck am I going to sit here and hide from it for? Yeah. So that's why we were instantly, from day one, we had a conversation about it for about 20 minutes. And we said, no, we're out of here. And this is one of the greatest things as well about we'll get into this a bit later, about my relationship with my brother and stuff. When you have someone to run ideas off of, and when you're with a gang of men, like I live with my brother and my cousin, you're inspired to be more brave, right? So we were all sitting around as a group, and they're like, well, are you a pussy? No. Are you a pussy? No. All right, then, let's go. Yeah. So that's why we were so resistant to it.
Before we move off of COVID, talk to me about how gay masks are. What are your feelings on that? I hated it from the beginning too, because I saw how sketchy and dangerous this was. I'm like, fuck the masks. It's you trying to force me to wear a fucking mask. Fuck that shit.
It's a submission exercise. It's absolutely a submission exercise. Anyone who understands how like submission works as a whole, one of the key elements to submission is humiliation, one, and two, it's making people comply with things they know are not in their best interest.
And a step-by-step process.
And a step-by-step, yeah. If you look at any serial killer whose wife helped him hide the body, right? And they'll say, why did you help him hide the body? She'll be like, oh, he broke me down and he humiliated me and I was so scared of him. And he just basically made her do so many little tasks that when it got to a big task, she would still hide the body. In most places in the world, they were making you wear a mask on your way into the restaurant. Sit down, take it off, eat, put it back on to go piss, then come back, take it off again. You're telling me that's in the interest of saving lives, and that's not a compliance exercise?
In California, you're supposed to put the mask on and off between bites.
It's a compliance exercise.
Insane.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's not saving anybody's life, and every doctor knows it. They're testing you for compliance. They want to say, make this person comply, because if you make them comply with a mask, which is no big deal, then they'll comply with experimental vaccines. Yeah. No big deal. Then they'll comply with being locked in their houses and being forced to go bankrupt. No big deal. Then they'll comply with saying, oh no, you can't travel without this new piece of paper. No big deal, right? It's all a compliance exercise. So when I saw people going, it's only a mask, no big deal, Andrew. Yep. I was like, well, you, my friend, are not a chess player. You do not see the big picture. I know exactly what this mask is about. All garbage from the get-go.
And there was some pussies in the Manosphere even who were saying, oh, it's just a mask, bro. It's just a mask, man.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it because I couldn't believe it. Yeah, I went on Twitter and I saw all these dudes who were supposed to be like masculine, red pill, whatever.
Red pill alpha male.
Yeah, yeah. And they're all super pro mask. And I was just saying, and they're like, I don't see what the big deal is. You don't think it's a big deal that a government's telling you to put something on your face?
Yep.
How is that not a big deal? To me, that's a massive deal for a government to come along and say, you must put something on your face. I'm not some bimbo in Saudi, right? I don't cover my face unless I want to. You know, I cover my face, I'm about to do something bad. Like, I'm not some idiot.
What about Dubai, man?
Yeah. But if a government comes along and forces you to muzzle yourself, that's a huge infringement of civil rights. And that was done on purpose as a preempt for the new infringement. Because the new infringement is you have no sovereignty over your bloodstream. You're not allowed to say no to this vaccine. Yep. That's what's coming. You must take it. We know you don't need it. You know you don't need it, but you must have it. You're not allowed to be sovereign over what's in your own body anymore. You belong to the government. The same way a sheep belongs to the farmer. It's exactly the same thing. The farmer only wants the sheep healthy enough to do its job. It doesn't want it happy, doesn't give a shit, right? And that's how the populations of the world are living nowadays. So I saw all this coming, and I was just so amazed that I kind of felt by myself. I kind of was like, whoa. Okay,
there,
just
man.
me then.
I was there,
yeah,
man.
you came along. Yeah, you started saying it. Me and you were saying it, but all the other dudes were just, it's only a mask, do. And
so to distill it down, are masks for alpha males or beta males?
Masks are even, they're not even, beta male is too kind a term because there's two reasons you wear a mask. Either you're scared of COVID, which makes you an idiot, or you're not scared of COVID. You're just scared of the rules, knowing you don't need a mask, which makes you a coward. So you can decide whether you want to be an idiot or a coward every time you put a mask on. That's up to you. You can make the choice. Every time you put it on, you can flip a coin and decide which one you want to be. But I'm neither of those things, so I will not put a mask on my face.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Now let's back up a little bit. So 2020, I mentioned we started off with COVID, but that wasn't until like March really got going.
Yep.
March and April and shit like that.
Yep.
But actually, the beginning of 2020 was something different. Something called "Make Women Great Again." Now you saw that go down. That was January and February 2020.
I watched your interview with Piers. It was it was beautiful. I think I messaged you and said you nailed it.
Thanks, man.
You nailed it, man. You nailed it. You're like, excuse me, I need to mansplain. Excuse me. It was
I'm mansplaining here.
Yeah, it was perfect. I loved it. It was perfect.
I learned from the best, man. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and the thing is, it's amazing how triggered everyone was by your convention, which only had the intention of increasing the positive interactions between males and females, right?
Exactly.
You're not trying to do anything negative in any regard, but they just find it instantly offensive, and they find it instantly offensive because they know you're right. Why else would they be so offended? It's a shame the COVID thing happened, because the COVID thing happening stopped that being the biggest deal of the century, man. That was going to be big. Then COVID came. But yeah, that was awesome. I loved it. I loved watching all of that. And I loved what you were saying, and I loved your message. And your message, as controversial as they try and pretend it is, really isn't controversial. Because only 20 or 30 or 40 years ago, every woman was taught how to be a good woman by her parents, by her mother or her father. Now that they're all failing, if you get a woman in the West, a lot of the time as a man, you have to teach her how to be a woman. You know, so men have always taught women how to be women.
Yeah.
So it's really not that big a deal, but they just don't like being reminded of the facts.
So Cobra Tate's in favor of mansplaining, basically.
Yeah, I'm absolutely in favor of mansplaining. Completely. Completely. Like, and I don't want to, what am I talking about? I don't want to come across as a sexist. I'm a realist, and reality is sexist.
There's no sexist pigs here. Not at all.
I'm a realist, and reality is sexist, right? So sometimes if I'm with a chick or whatever, and we're in a situation, she gives me her opinion, and I'm like, look, without disrespect, you're a 19-year-old female. What do you know about the world? You don't know anything about anything. Just leave it to me. You don't know anything. I don't expect you to know anything. So I don't know why you're trying to give me your opinion, because I don't put any responsibility on you to perform in basically any way outside of the bedroom. So just shush. Don't worry about it. Leave it to me, right? So, yeah, the reality is sexist. I guess I'm a little bit of a sexist, but that's how it goes.
Well, we're on the subject. We're talking about, reality here, a little bit of sexism, reality, sexist nature, make women great again.
Yep.
Talk to me about the state of American women, because you've talked about American culture, it's a failed state.
Yep.
For the most part, I don't disagree. It's fucked up. It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
State of American women, Cobra Tate.
So, there are good women and bad women everywhere. So that's the first thing. There are good women here, and there's bad women. There's good women and bad women everywhere. But if we're going to take an average overall as a whole, I think that Western women are doing something that women in Eastern Europe and other places in the world don't do. And it's a very simple version of it is, in most countries in the world, if a woman's above 18, she won't be dating a guy. She could at least see the possibility of marrying in the future. That's the basic premise. They will date you if they see that under the correct circumstances, if things work out, they might end up married to you with children. Whereas Western women just think, oh, well, he's funny, I'll just fuck him for a few months and whatever. Oh, now I have a kid, oh, I'm a single mom. They don't think ahead. They don't think, will I marry this man?
They're thinking like Netflix and Cheetos.
Yeah, this dumb shit. If you would ask the average 19-year-old American girl who she's gone out with, would you marry him? She'd be like, no. Then why is he fucking you? Like, why? For what now? Yeah. So it's just a completely different view on relationships. The view is completely skewed, and it's skewed because women have become more masculine in the fact that they believe that them sleeping around or sleeping with a bunch of people is no different than a man doing it, which is obviously completely wrong. Everyone with a brain knows that. And it's just a messed up culture. It's just messed up.
In your view, this is pretty similar for America, Canada, Britain, stuff
yeah,
like that?
all Western countries are the same. Yeah, all Western countries are the same, because as men are feminized, then there's a power vacuum which is naturally absorbed by females. So as men become weaker, women become stronger. This is how the world works, right? Things have to balance out.
So it's kind of like it sucks, but it's natural.
Kind of like it sucks, but it's just kind of what it is. It's a result of the culture. The culture has produced an environment in which men are going to be feminized, and that's going to allow females to become more masculine. That's what the culture has produced. That's the scenario we live in. That's the rules of the game. It's the consequence, right? Yeah. There are many countries in the world where we don't have these problems. But we have them here in the West. It's just how it works.
Well, so you mentioned a few countries where we don't have these problems. Where have you've been to, like, how many, 60 countries?
72.
Like 72.
Yeah.
Where have you seen the best women in the world? The most beautiful, the most feminine? Where are they?
That's a good question. And women are women everywhere, right? So women are a pain in the ass everywhere. This idea that you're going to go to some town somewhere and it's going to be the haven of beautiful girls who know their place, I don't believe that's real. All beautiful girls know they're beautiful girls. So to a degree, they're always going to be hard to get, et cetera, et cetera. But I do believe that if you get an Eastern European woman, the idea of her looking after you in terms of cleaning the house and cooking for you is 0% offensive. Her mother did it for her father. Her sister does it for her man. It's just very normal to them.
It's like common sense.
It's common sense, right? So they have a better understanding of gender roles as a whole. So I'd say that.
Anything in South America, Asia?
Asia, I've been to a lot of times, but Asia's a strange culture to penetrate because many times, especially in Korea or something, the girls don't want to be seen with an American man because it's a really bad look, right? Huh. They want to be with a
skank, basically.
Yeah, you're a hoe. Yeah, right. So Koreans want to be with Koreans. They kind of preserve it. Everyone complains about America being racist. It's the Asian countries which are the most racist countries in the world. They're absolutely racist. You can move to America from anywhere, and as long as you speak perfect English, you're American, effectively, right? You can move to Japan and speak perfect Japanese. You are not Japanese, and you will never be Japanese. You'll never be viewed as Japanese, right? That's how they are.
Yeah.
So, but in terms of, trying to find the best woman, if you're looking for a wife, I think that, Eastern Europe, Russia, these places are still a place where if you get a girl, she's going to have a better understanding of what a woman's job is than in other places in the world. But there's a flip side to that, and the flip side to that is she expects a lot more of you from you as a man, right? If she's going to do her job as a woman, she needs the man to do his part. So an Eastern European woman would never ever expect to have to work a job. She'd be like, no, I have a man.
When I met you in Poland, I felt this as being there. Just walking around, talking to women at coffee shops and shit. They act like women and they expect you to act like a fucking man.
Yep,
and
absolutely.
It was mind blowing.
Yep, that's exactly how it should be. And you'll often see girls with jobs don't have boyfriends. And if a girl gets a boyfriend, she'll quit her job. So everyone calls them gold diggers, but they're not gold diggers. It's like, no, I have a man now, so I have a man. So he pays the bills and I look after my man. That's how it works, right?
It's like rocket science.
Yeah, it's like that's just how it works. And the idea that they're all gold diggers, I actually don't think is true. I just think that when they have a genuine view to have a long-term relationship with you, why would they marry a broke guy? Well, they wouldn't marry a broke guy, so they just avoid broke guys altogether because that's their whole intention of the relationship in the first place is marriage. So that's just kind of how it works over there.
You mentioned racism a minute ago. Talk to me about racism in America. Obviously, it's been a hot issue the past year or so. What are your thoughts on that? Is America a racist shithole? What is it?
I don't think America is a racist country. Okay, this is a hot topic, right? Is there racism in America? On some level, there's racism everywhere. On some level, humans are always going to be racist to some degree. This is how humans function. If I walked down the street and was attacked by a purple man, and then I walked down the street 2 months later and was attacked by a purple man, when I next walk past a purple man, I will be intimidated by said purple man. That's not racism, that's pattern recognition. That's the reason that humans don't try and hug lions. Because we learned a long time ago to recognize patterns. Hey, did you see Steve? He tried to hug a lion. He ain't got a head anymore. Yeah. Maybe I should try. Don't be racist, right? So this is pattern recognition. So people confuse the two. And on many levels, certainly all of Asia and many countries in the world are far more racist than America will ever be. But America's true problem is that they won't shut up about racism. Do you remember when you were younger? I don't know if you ever did this. Did you ever say to somebody, hey, why are you angry? You seem pissed off. Why are you so angry all the time? Why are you mad? Why are you mad? You're pissed off. And after an hour, you're actually pissed off, right? You make it come true. It's the same. Why are you racist? You're racist. Why are you racist? Racist, 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 racist.
Christians have a saying. They say words become flesh.
Absolutely. That's what it is. You just won't shut up about it. If truly you want to end racism, then stop discussing color. Because that's all racism should be, removing color. I'm half black, half white, right? I don't care what people view me as. Some people think I'm white. Some people say I'm Brazilian. People guess. Not very often people guess I'm half black. But the point is, the only way to truly remove racism is to stop discussing color as a whole. Stop making quotas for color. Stop doing all this craziness in the name of fixing racism and just promoting racism. But this is done on purpose. I'll go full Alex Jones here. But we all know that the elites of the world need to make sure the people who are getting destroyed by the financial system are at war with each other. You need all the people at the bottom infighting. Otherwise, they're going to wake up and look up and go, oh, these few people are screwing all millions of us. They don't need that. So they need to make sure we continue to infight. America.
So old school divide and conquer.
Old school divide and conquer. This whole racism thing is absolutely and utterly promoted on every single level. They want people out there marching the street complaining about racism to distract them from the fact that their job doesn't afford them enough money to ever live a comfortable life ever. They want them just to be complaining about something else. That's all it is. It's just a distraction method.
Okay.
That's all it is.
Let's shift gears a little bit. Let's talk about Trump. You know, Trump was not too far up the road here, maybe an hour or two, whatever, not even. He was recent president of the United States, obviously.
Yep.
You know, we talked about this in 2019.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on what happened in 2020 with Trump, the election, all that stuff?
So I was a big Trump fan, but I have to admit, and I have to be completely pragmatic. As much as I am a pro-Trump guy, as much as I'm not Democratic in any way, I have to hand it to the Democrats. They are petulant like children, and they are bitter like women. You know, they say, no, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. When the Democrats have power, they use it. They squeeze all of their political opponents. They just arrested, Rudy, for no reason? They raided his apartment.
Yep.
They will do anything they can, even after they win, in their power, to find anyone who ever tried to question their power and destroy them. Yep. And Trump didn't do it. Yeah. Trump was too nice. He thought, oh, I've won now. I know these people are crazy. But he just thought, I guess he was, I wouldn't say Trump made a mistake, but certainly he looked at the tiger and thought, oh, the tiger's behind that wall, it's fine. He should have shot it in the head. He should have put Hillary's ass in jail. Yeah. He should have gone for it. But he didn't, and maybe Trump knows things we don't know.
Sure.
I'd actually like to believe that the reason Trump conceded so easily is because he knows things we don't know. The powers behind the world who allowed it all came and sat down with him and said, listen, Mr. Trump, you can lose this election and go back to Mar-a-Lago, or you can lose this election, kick up a fuss, and end up in jail. For one way or another. Or worse. We're going to find something. We're going to raid every single property. We're going to destroy if you forensically analyze a full-grown man's life, you're going to find something, right? When that's your intention, that's what they're going to do. You're going to lose all your properties. You're going to lose your family legacy. You're going to lose everything if you don't shut up. That's kind of why he just kind of vanished, I think. And for now. And hopefully he has the intention of coming back, et cetera, et cetera. But the democratic systems are so powerful, and they're powerful because the left are so petulant, they'll stick together no matter what. They'll defend their own no matter what. You can be high on fentanyl and point a gun at a pregnant woman. You are still a hero in the eyes of the left. You're a saint because they will defend their own no matter what. And on the right, we don't do that. Yeah. We don't do that. And if we're not going to do that, we're not going to win because we're not united. So that's what it is. So what Trump should have done in his presidency, I'd like to think if he would go back in time, he would have done what the Democrats are now doing and just went for it.
Cracking skulls,
Just cracking skulls. That's what you should have done.
Now, how do you feel about Trump 2024 running again?
I would love for Trump to win in 2024, but I no longer have any faith in any electoral system on the planet. If they'll which they did, I'm not going to even say maybe, they did. We all know that the election for the #1 most democratic, most powerful nation in the world. You think that all the elections in the world are? You know what's funny? Myanmar recently had a military coup. I don't know if you guys know this. Myanmar, about 2 months ago, the military took over the country. And when the military took over the country, they were citing the reason was electoral fraud. And they were saying that the elections are fraudulent and we are taking back the country, blah, blah, blah. I looked into it. It was like 51%, 49% for years throughout the 70s and 80s and 90s. Then Bill Clinton went over there, became friends with one party, and ever since it's been 80%, 20%, 80%, 20%. They use Dominion voting machines, or Dominican, whatever it's voting machines. Now I know that's rigged.
It's a coincidence.
It's a rig. That's not a coincidence. The military said, no, we're tired of this. America's controlling our country, and they're rigging the election. So the military took it back. Now I don't believe in any election. I don't believe in any of them anymore. So if Trump runs, it's nothing to do with how many votes he gets. Unfortunately, that's the case. I think Stalin said it during communism. It doesn't matter who casts the votes. It matters who counts the votes.
Yeah, it's one big chess game.
Yeah, so how can Trump run and win when they'll just what can he do? They'll just in broad daylight. No one did shit. There was a little incident in Washington, D.C., and everyone had a panic attack. Yeah. That was nothing compared to what the left would have done the other way around. Yep. If the left had obviously had an election, this entire fucking country would be on fire. Yep. All of it. But the other way around, nothing, because the right-wing people are logical, sensible individuals. We're not petulant. We're not emotional enough to go out and start setting everything on fire. And unfortunately, in the reality of the world, the savage often wins for that reason. Yeah. This is how the reality works. This is unfortunate. So Trump can win, and Trump can get a ton of votes, but the other I don't think he stands a chance. There's no way they worked that hard to get rid of him, to let him win again. I really believe that. They thought he was smoked with Hillary. He won. They couldn't believe it, and they thought, okay, he cannot win again. When Joe Biden won the nomination, Tristan goes, Trump's going to win again. And I said, I have just lost all hope in Trump winning. And he goes, why? I said, they just invented the Russia collusion. They've had a full-on panic attack these years because Trump wasn't president. You think they're going to put some senile old man up there to get landslided and do nothing? You think they're not going to give him some kind of They're going to put Sleepy Joe up there to get whooped? No way. As soon as they said Sleepy Joe, I was like, no. I think I tweeted out, or Tristan put a tweet on Twitter about it. Yeah. He said, I wanted to put money on Trump, and Andrew wouldn't let me. He said it was and I didn't believe, and Andrew called it. I knew. I just knew. As soon as they said Joe Biden, I was like, this is over.
Here's the question. How much longer do you think Biden will be president? A few months, year, what?
Kamala is that exact woman everyone hates.
Nasty woman.
She's that exact character on every level that black people, white people, Chinese people, everybody just looks at her and thinks you're a cunt. Am I allowed to say that word?
Who cares?
Okay. So, but she is. No, she's the least likable individual. She's so unlikable as an individual. And yeah, soon she's going to be president.
Who's worse, Kamala or Hillary?
Oh.
Who would you fuck first, Kamala or Hillary?
Threesome.
Last two women in the world.
Threesome, bro. Let me just get it over with, right? Let me get it over with. Let's go hard.
Pretty good.
Yeah, but
oh,
just I don't know. And this is why I say when I say America's failed, even though I am enjoying Florida, even though we do have war room events here, I say it's failed because on so many levels, the average American has lost control of his own life. You've lost control of your own your vote. Isn't that sad? But the IRS will come along and say, pay us, pay us, pay us. And then you'll finally get up. You're once every 4 years, and you get your chance, and you'll go and vote, and they'll just go, that's bullshit, man. That's bullshit. You have to admit it's bullshit.
I agree. So a few minutes ago, you mentioned the January 6th Capitol riots, they call them. I call it. It was just fucking awesome, number one, in my opinion. I love that shit.
Yeah.
What do you think about this?
Well, I think people were finally standing up for what they believed in. It's the first time in a long time we've seen people on the right stand up for what they believed in the same way the left stands up for what they believe in. On a much smaller scale, the right-wing event was on a much smaller scale than most left-wing events that we've had for years.
Like grandmas in there and shit.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a mixed crowd.
Yeah, it was what it was. And all in all,
were you watching it live? What was going on?
I was watching it live, yeah, and I knew how they were going to spin it. Of course I knew how they were going to spin it, but
I was like cheering and shit. It was just fucking awesome.
Yeah, I have respect for the people who turned up there, right? Yeah. Because they really, truly believed, and it's about time something had to happen. And I don't know what all the people who were saying how terrible an event this was expected. When you remove their ability to play the game fairly, you take away their ability to play fairly. What else are people supposed to do? Yeah. You either just completely give up and be a coward like most of the conservatives did, or you do something about it. Like, what else is there? You can't just vote. If we're playing a game of chess and you stick to the rules and I make up rules as I go along, what's your chance of winning?
I'll flip the whole fucking board.
Yeah, zero. You can't. So you have to say, oh, I'm not playing. Yeah. And throw the board over. If you're going to sit there and go, no, I believe in law and order. Let's play again and stick to the rules. I'm going to keep jumping all over the place, taking your pieces. Yeah. No, I get 5 moves. Check, check, check. Like, you're an idiot then. So all these conservatives going, this is wrong. We should be law and order. They're literally changing the rules in real time. They just what are you talking about, law and order? Yeah. It's just asinine. It's immature. It's churlish. These are just stupid people saying stupid things. That's why most of the conservatives in America are just grifters anyway. Yeah. Just lying. You're just lying. Because if you truly believed in freedom, you wouldn't allow it and then complain when someone gets up and does something you ain't got the balls to do. Crazy.
Yeah, you got to stand up and defend yourself. Yep. Now, what do you think about my good friend Pat Stedman who was there? What do you think about that?
Awesome guy. I didn't really know Pat that well. But I saw in the uprun to that, he was doing a lot of stuff. He was putting a lot of things on Twitter about the fact he was going to go there, etc. He went there. And after he got caught or arrested or something, all the conservatives on Twitter were trying to make fun of him. Like, oh, yeah, Pat went there. Ha, ha. Like they're smarter for not going. It's always easy. You know what? Cowards always think they're smart. Cowards always think they're smart. If you go out there and you take a risk and it doesn't pay off, cowards are always smarter, aren't they? Well, I didn't take that risk, so ha-ha. I sat on my couch like a jackass. I made tweets. Ha-ha, that's my resistance. You're nothing. You're a coward.
Hashtag resistance.
Hashtag resistance. You're a coward. Yep. And a coward will always laugh at somebody who takes the risk. I don't think you should laugh at somebody who had more balls than you did. I don't think you should laugh at somebody who's on your side overall. You shouldn't laugh at someone who went to war for you because you were afraid to get up and go to war. Yeah. I think that's disgusting. I think it's snakery. I think it's worse than cowardice. It's treachery. And when I saw it, I saw these right-wing figures turning on the guy. I couldn't believe it. The left would never turn on their own. It was unbelievable to watch.
You know who it was? It was the mask people. It's the same
guys who said it's only a mask instantly turned on their boy when he fought a war they were too scared to fight. And that tells you a lot about masks.
Yep.
Remember that next time you see someone with a mask on.
That's right.
Think about it. I couldn't believe it. I messaged Pat separately and I said, look, anything you need from me. I think I made a video offering him $100,000.
Yeah.
I said, I'll give you $100,000 right now. You stood up and you did it. Anything you need from me, I'll do my very best to support you. And all these people who've turned on you are nothing but snakes.
Yep.
Snakes. And I don't forget. A lot of people put this shit out on Twitter. There's a whole bunch of guys. There's one guy who was super like pro-mask, and now he's trying to tweet, oh, they're trying to make us wear masks. You think I forgot what you were saying 6 months ago?
Yep.
Because you think I'm an idiot. Maybe a lot of people are idiots. I'm not. I know what you said, and I remember. And I remember these things. Because all these guys are trying to flip now.
Yeah.
All trying to flip. Now they realize they were idiots, and they bought into the lie. Cowards.
I need to pull up the screenshots because that pisses me off too, you know? 6 months later, they're anti-mask. Like, motherfucker, you were like pro-mask from the beginning.
And the reason you need to be anti-mask, here we are 6 months later, is because you were a coward at the start. If everyone at the start did what I did and started saying no, running around and jizzing, it would have been fine, right?
Jizzing?
Jizzing, yeah, sorry. It's an English expression. Google it up.
Okay.
But if everyone at the beginning, if everyone at the start was doing what I was doing, then none of this would have lasted, right?
Yeah.
But when everyone started instantly complying, well, when you're in charge of the world and the slaves instantly comply, you just think, well, oh, the slaves want to be slaves?
Yep.
Let them be slaves. So well, why would I tell the slaves to not be slaves?
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. I don't wear a mask. I'm telling you, man, when I was flying around during this corona stuff, I'm fortunate to have a little bit of money. I'm flying on private jets, no paperwork, no mask, no questions, nothing. If you book a private jet, you can go anywhere you want in Europe. They didn't give a shit. You try and get on a commercial flight, mask, fill in this paperwork, corona test, da-da-da-da. If you have a private plane, they don't care. Elites, if you have money, if you're up here, none of the rules apply. And that's what's most frustrating for someone like me who started at the bottom. Now I'm kind of up here. I've seen the whole spectrum of it, and I see what complete bullshit it all is. And still these conservative grifters are like, it's only a mask, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Cowards, man, cowards.
Losers.
Yep.
Let's shift gears a little bit. We talked about the red pill earlier. We talked about the state of women, America, you know, all this shit going on, fat women and stuff. We'll get into that a little bit. But talk to me about something that I think I've never seen anyone ask you about. Talk to me about the red pill and love. Talk to me about, more generally, talk to me about your take on romantic love.
It's a good question. I absolutely and utterly believe that men and women are made to be together. I absolutely and utterly believe that men and women should be in love with each other. I believe a woman should love her man and a man should love her woman. I have women who I'm completely head over heels in love with. I ain't gonna take shit. I'm not saying I won't leave you if you disrespect me, but it doesn't mean I don't love her. I don't know this idea. People think that you can't love a girl. No, that's bullshit.
Yeah, the Manosphere, they say this shit, right? Oh, red pill, love is for stupid.
Complete garbage. I mean, that's low-level shit. I love having a woman who loves me. If I'm sick, she actually cares. Like, this idea that you're just going to spin plates forever and just endlessly have pointless sex then die, I think that's awfully sad. You should want love, and you should want the idea of children. You should want all of those things. But the confusion is people think that love means completely sell out your principles as a man. That's not the same thing. I can be completely in love with my woman, and she can still treat me a certain way. And if she refuses to do that, then she will have to be replaced. That's it. And the biggest problem with a lot of people is once a man falls in love, it's hard for anyone, right? But when many men fall in love, their boundaries just start getting bent because they don't want to say bye to the chick.
Yeah.
But if you're not gonna kick her out for certain things, then she's gonna continue to do certain things. I get these messages all the time from guys. Hey, I got this girlfriend, I really like her, but she has these male friends. Make her choose. You are the friends. She's gonna fuck one of them eventually. Otherwise, like, what are you delaying this for? If you are arguing about male friends and she continues to want these male friends, she obviously is gonna get drunk one night and suck some dick. We know that. You know that. Everyone knows that. So tell her, choose me or the male friends. If she chooses the male friends and walks out on you, you've saved yourself a whole ton of time.
Yep. That's
all you've done is sped it up. And you have to be a man about it. And you have to be a man about it in regards to you're going to miss her, she's going to leave, you're going to miss her, and you're going to get the fuck over it like a man. You're not going to sit there and cry about it and beg for her back and do anything stupid. So yeah, I absolutely believe in love. There's nothing wrong with love, but don't confuse love with sacrificing your masculinity because they're different things. They're completely different things.
I'm glad I asked you this because a lot of people, they would have thought maybe the opposite of you, right?
Yeah.
People like, oh, fuck love, it's for losers, blah, blah, blah. But no, it's
Completely wrong.
Yeah.
I'm in love with every girl I sleep with, at least for a day.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe I'm bored of them after a day. I love them at the beginning, and I'm gonna be like, oh, you're boring now.
Yeah.
But
sun up to sundown.
I love them all.
Yeah.
They all love me. It's a very loving relationship, right? I absolutely love love. All my women say they love me. I say, oh, yeah, I love you. I'm completely normal. There's nothing wrong with that. But people have conflated the two. They've conflated being in love with being a complete coward and a pussy, and that's not the case at all. They are very different things. I know a lot of guys in Russia, a lot of fighters and stuff, they're completely in love with their woman, but The woman obeys them, and it's exactly how a relationship should be. That's how love should be. Love doesn't mean
natural.
Yeah, natural. Yeah, love doesn't mean anything negative in any sphere for a man or a woman. Love's a fantastic thing. Why be alive without love? Right? Love's an amazing thing. So I'm super pro love. I'm pro love. Ladies, you heard it. If there's any girls watching this, which I'm sure there's not, Cobra Tate on Instagram.
Super pro love. I love it.
Yeah, super pro love.
That's good. Now, another hot button issue in the manosphere is not just love, which gets beat up by these pseudo fake red pill alpha males, but they also bitch about hypergamy.
Yep.
So what's your take on hypergamy, particularly as you see it in the manosphere, the red pill and stuff?
Okay, so I've not read Rollo's book. I'll say the name. I've not read Rollo's book, and I'll make it clear. I know you and Rollo don't get along. Rollo blocked me recently.
On Twitter?
Yeah. So no, me and him got along for a while. We did a few podcasts. We were cool. And I'm
super surprised about him blocking you.
Yeah, I'm always kind of like, if someone shows me respect, I'll show it back. I'm kind of like that, right? So I was cool with everybody. Then I think some MGTOW guys went on one of his videos and posted loads of stuff about how Tate's better than you and all this shit. And then he accused me of doing it. And I was kind of like, my friend, I'm busy. Like, I don't know what you think I'm sitting on YouTube posting your videos and stuff. I've got a lot to do. Like, I don't have time for that. So he kind of fell for the trick and blocked me, and now he's unblocked me. So I don't know. But yeah, what do I think about hypergamy as a whole? I think men are just as bad as women in that regard.
Well, let me say this too, though. In the manosphere, these dudes are obsessed with hypergamy. That's kind of what I'm digging at here. Not just in general, as a scientific concept, whatever, who cares? I'm talking about like the manosphere. These dudes are obsessed with hypergamy. It's like a god to them.
Please explain it to me, because I don't truly understand it. I've not read the book, so it's basically a woman's always going to be trying to get something better than herself, or trying to get the best she can.
Date up, marry up, date up, marry up. Now, sociologically, it's like just marry up, but Rollo's taken it to a much different way.
But don't men do the same thing? Aren't we all trying to get the hottest woman we can, or the most gentle woman we can, or the most kind woman we can? Yeah. Aren't we all, as humans, looking for the best we can possibly do? Yeah. I don't think that's a male-female thing. I think that's human nature. Now, men have different qualities and different assets to make them attractive to females than females have, right? So maybe this application of hypergamy at females is the fact that females are trying to date up, but they haven't earned the right to date up.
Do you lose sleep over hypergamy at night? Are you terrified of hypergamy? This is kind of what I'm getting at. These dudes are like, dude, hypergamy's gonna get me.
No, like there's not much I lose sleep over. But no, absolutely not. And if hypergamy was absolutely and utterly true, then nobody besides the top 0.1% of men would have a woman. So obviously it's a spectrum, right? But I believe everybody tries to find the best they can get, and I believe it's a man's job to make his woman believe that he is the best choice for her. I truly believe that if you're a man and your woman truly loves you, she's uninterested in all other men anyway. If your woman truly loves you, Dwayne Johnson can message her on Instagram and she'll ignore him if she really actually loves you. And I know that. I know that if you have a woman who truly loves you, she doesn't want a man to touch her, right? That's the difference between men and women, because we can be completely head over heels in love with a woman and still fuck something else, right? But a woman can't do it if she really actually loves you. She doesn't want to. She's not interested. So if you do your job as a man and convince the woman that you're the best possible man for her, then all that stuff kind of disappears, right? Because you're already the best. Okay. So that's your job as a man. That's just male responsibility. So.
Talk to me about all these dating coaches in the manosphere. These guys who, they say they're red pill alpha males, and then all they do is fuck old fat women. So what do you think about these guys?
Yeah. I'm trying to be politically correct.
Do you fuck any old fat women?
No, I do not. No. You're very good at bringing out the worst in me. That's why you're the president, right?
You gotta be presidential.
You gotta be presidential. Yeah, I mean...
You're not getting soft on me, are you?
No, I'm not getting soft, but...
Getting old? Are you 34 now?
I'm 34. I'm an old man. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on in the manosphere. There's a lot of guys who... I just think... Let me be politically correct, semi-politically correct. I think everybody should just genuinely be looking to be as honest as possible as individuals. And I think a lot of the reason why they lie is because they feel like they wouldn't have a brand or they wouldn't be able to say anything if they told the truth. And that might be true. Yeah. But, however, that you could still come at it from the angle of, and this is one thing, I know you're not a fan of Rollo, I'm going to stick up for him to a degree. Rollo doesn't say he's out there slaying pussy, right? He says, look, I am a theology, I look at the theology of it, I look at the study of why I think certain things happen.
He's a keyboard warrior.
Yeah, but he's not saying I'm out there a playboy, really. He's saying, look, this is what I believe the theory is. Yeah. So you can't hate on him for saying, look, I'm a theorist, here's the theory. Yeah. That's fine. And he's managed to be quite successful just doing that. If he were to start lying and saying, I'm fucking all these 16-year-old women or 18-year-old women, whatever the law is in America. 18?
It's 18 usually. You get married at 16. I think.
All right, in Romania it's 16, sorry.
Yeah.
So if I'm fucking all these 18-year-old women, blah, blah, blah. Well, then he's added a bunch of lies on top of the character. I don't understand why. Yeah. I think if you truly have something to say, you truly understand the game, you don't need to tell a bunch of lies about women. If you actually have insights, you could do what Rollo did, which is pen your insights. If they're useful and if they help people, they'll be absorbed by certain people. And you don't have to add this whole layer of lies on top. But there's a whole bunch of dudes out there which, are just pure lying.
Yeah, I think they're kind of dumb. Like, Rollo's more intelligent than that. He's not, as much as I don't get along with him, I don't think he's stupid.
Yeah.
And to lie like some of these dudes are, you gotta be fucking dumb.
Yeah.
Like, this is some dumb shit, man.
Yeah, what's kind of crazy about it is the guys, once you start saying you're a playboy and you're slaying pussy, well, now you have a huge issue. And the issue is, where's your proof?
Receipts.
I'm the only guy on Twitter who's putting up pictures of him with hot girls.
And
like,
in the war room, you guys are big on this too, right?
Yeah, in the war room, it's all based on receipts. In my organization, every single thing you say has to be substantiated on every level. And once a week, there's certain things you have to fill in, and you have to substantiate it. There's work. We are completely based on receipts. There's no keyboard warrioring in our entire organization.
I want to take that principle out, the receipts-based everything, and put it to the whole fucking Manosphere.
That's what needs to happen, because that's what needs to happen. If you're going to really say I'm out there slaying girls, then you should have what I have, which is my Twitter account. And if you scroll through it, it's just random interactions of me with a bunch of women who are genuinely actually attractive women, right? They're not ugly. They're actually hot. They're Barbie dolls.
They're not hitting menopause. They're not old. They're not fat.
They're not old. They're not fat.
So in the pickup artist community, by the way, you heard the pickup artists, right?
Yep.
And back in the day, like John Anthony, I would say is like a master pickup artist,
yep.
an MPUA.
Yep.
Now he would never call himself that because it's kind of gay.
Yeah.
But back in the day, in the 2000s, was the thing, right?
Yep.
And I think so. In the pickup community, we had MPUAs. I think in the red pill community, they have the masters of menopause because they fuck old fat women. Well, now, at least the pickup artists actually fuck women, like in general.
And this is also one of the things that kind of where I don't see how I fit in so much with the Manosphere, because my personal opinion on females, I was never trying to sleep with as many women as possible. That was never my goal.
Yeah, you're like 450, 500?
450, 500, yeah. But I was never trying to get to that number, and I'm still not trying to get to 1,000. Yeah. I've always been trying to find the best woman I could find, or find the best women I could find.
And you're banging women in the course of living your life.
Yeah, I'm not out there in the mall thinking this is my sole goal of the day, right?
Yeah.
But my goal was trying to find the best woman I can find. And if you're going to do that, you need to see a lot of women, right? If you have to find the best apple in the grocery store, you need to play with a lot of apples. You can't just go and just get this one, right? You got to take a bite out of a bunch of apples. I was only doing what I was doing to try and find the best possible woman for us to have a relationship, or the best possible 3 women for me to have relationships with. So I was never about the number. I was never about as many as possible. I was always about, I truly enjoy interactions with females that are absolutely positive. I enjoy having a woman who is completely devoted to me, loves me, would never cheat on me, dotes on me, listens to me. All the people say when people meet my girls, when they come to Romania, my main chick, Vivian, I don't even know who she is, the blonde one, whatever. When people come say her, they go, I can see she
Bro, they're all blonde, man.
Yeah, they're all blonde, sorry. She completely adores you. She, like, if you guys were to come in the house, she'd cook for us all. She'd give us all coffee, like, clean up. I wouldn't have to tell her to do this. She'd do this out of respect for me, because you are my friends.
Sounds like a real woman.
Yeah, exactly. She's a real woman. But I enjoy that much more than just sleeping with as many girls as possible. I'd rather just sleep with her. I mean, she's hot. If I get bored, I sleep with something else and come back later, right? So I've never been about the numbers personally.
You like mix and match, you know?
Yeah, mix and match. Yeah, or we play together, whatever. So I'm bringing this bitch home. So.
Now, related to what I just asked about, now that's kind of the more egregious end of the red pill. They fuck old fat women and lie about it and shit. Like, egregiously. It's fucking nuts, right?
Yep.
But for years, you've actually been tweeting about something that I really appreciate. And that's the guys who are not that bad. That's like next level fucking retard fraud.
Yep.
The guys who are like in the middle and like, yeah, I'm red pill alpha male, blah, 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 right?
Yep.
And their wife or the girlfriend's like just totally average.
Yeah.
So it's like you're this expert and you teach men and you charge all this money, and your girlfriend, your wife is a 5. Yeah. Not a 3 or a 2, which is bad. Yeah. But like just basic 5. Yeah. It's like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, it's kind of strange. It's kind of
you make fun of them. You're low key on this shit. I see you. I'm like, yeah, you're retweeting.
Yeah, I do because it's LARPing, right? It's kind of like when I was fighting professionally, I never watched a fighting podcast because I was too busy fighting. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So these guys who have 6 hours a day, 5 times a week to talk about all the girls they're fucking, aren't fucking girls, because if they were, they wouldn't be on there doing that. You're busy, right?
Or you'd have problems.
Or yeah. So it's just like, I think a lot of it's LARPing. I think a lot of it's trying to play a character that they wish they could be, that they can't be. A lot of it is probably, to some degree, a form of self-therapy for some of these guys. They're really disappointed in themselves, so they're upset with how they perform in the real world, but if they can convince enough people online that they do things they don't do, they feel better about themselves. It's therapy.
It's almost like they're creating their own little fake.
They're creating their own little fantasy, yeah. So when I see some of these guys doing that, I feel not sorry for them, because I don't feel sorry for dudes, right?
Pity.
But it's kind of like I get what you're doing here, right? And yeah, it's kind of sad. But then also, another part of me, and I'll be perfectly honest, I am a free market capitalist. And if somebody is stupid enough to pay one of these dudes to learn from them, then I'm kind of like, I can't hate on the dude for releasing a course. Because if you're such a moron, you believe that individual has something to teach you, then you deserve to lose your money. So it's also kind of like two sides of it. You know, it's two sides of it. And I do respect what you are doing. And I'll make this clear now, it's going to upset a bunch of people. You are trying to purge the space of fakers. Right. And you're doing that because you love the space and you believe in the space. And you are going out on a limb to purge the entire space from fakers. And whenever I'm asked about that, I have to say, look, I respect the man for standing up what he believes in and trying to purge the space of people who are talking shit. Because it's full of people doing that. So I do respect your mission. I respect what you're doing. I do respect what you're doing. Big time, man. I respect what you're doing.
Fuck yeah.
I respect it.
Yeah, kill them all, roast them all. not kill them all, roast them all.
Yeah.
Burn them all.
But I like to think that hopefully as time goes on, hopefully as more qualified people come to prominence, that the amount of money these guys make at least completely tanks. And I think it's already kind of getting there. Like when I released I had money before products, right? I didn't need to sell products to make money. Right now, my biggest income is not courses. I'm not a guy who needs to sell courses to make money. I have other things going on. However, when I released my PhD course, I sold a lot
That's
of courses.
That's the pimping hose degree?
Pimping hose degree, PhD, yeah. And that was about me teaching how, that wasn't even about picking up women. That was about me teaching when I had my webcam business. If anyone's watching this and doesn't know, I'm about to surmise a very large period of my life in about 2 minutes. I had the first big money I ever made in my life. I first became a multimillionaire by running a webcam studio. So I had beautiful women sitting on computers talking to guys on webcams from all around the world. That's how I first made my money. And at one point, I had 75 women in 4 locations working for me, which was stressful and the wrong way to do it. I ended up removing my army and going to special forces of around 15 people, 15 girls. And me and my brother made a lot of money doing that. But the PhD course, the pimping hose degree, was teaching people how I managed females in those scenarios, how I controlled their emotions, how I convinced them to work and give me most of their money, how I convinced them to share me with other women, why they obeyed me. So it was never so much about out there picking up girls. It was actually something else. It was more about the psychology of things. And I had a bunch of guys who bought the PhD and were like, I've applied this to my marriage. And my marriage is fantastic. Yeah. Like, even though it's like pimp and hose, it's actually far more to do with just dynamics of men and women as a whole. But
when much more universal and fundamental.
Much more universal. But when I released that, I did very, very well with that. So when I see some of these guys trying to like push their courses and stuff, I know there's no way on God's green earth they did a fraction of what I did with my
Dude, they actually charge more than you, and they fuck fat women.
Yeah.
It pisses me off. I'm like, dude, Tate at least fucks hot women, and a lot of them.
Yeah.
These guys fuck nothing but a few ugly fat women, and then they charge, it's like...
Yeah, I know, and I know they probably think they're making a lot of money, but if they were legit like I am, I don't want to really say numbers, but my numbers are in the millions with courses. Nice. So that if you're actually legit about it, you can make a lot. So they're nowhere near me, right? So they'll get the odd complete idiot.
Now, you mentioned too the purging and stuff. And my hope is that if the world doesn't fucking end this decade, all the great reset bullshit we'll get into in a minute, that the Manosphere, I'll be able to clean it up over this decade. Purge it, not perfect, but pretty close.
We need to instigate a culture of receipts, and we need to instigate a culture of honesty. And what we need to do, the biggest thing we need to do, is remove the egos from the space. Because what happens is when a beta tries to be an alpha, his instant way to do it is he goes, I know, I'll get a huge ego. Yeah. Now I'm an alpha. No, you're a dickhead. You're an asshole.
It's a sheep in wolf clothing.
It's a sheep in wolf's clothing, right? And because they have such big egos, they can't be honest. If they were honest, they could say, look, I'm not slaying pussy anymore. I never really have. And because of that, I can tell you X, Y, Z and sell your product. Don't be running around lying about what you're sleeping with. Why lie? But they lie because of the ego. And they develop the ego to try and pretend they're a man they're not, because they want to be an alpha when they're not genuinely an alpha.
These other little betas have no idea.
Yeah.
Like, they don't know left from right. They're fucking clueless.
It is. But I do think that the natural progression of things with what you're doing, and like I'm trying hard now in the space, and a few other big guys are trying hard in the space.
John Anthony?
Yeah, a few other guys are coming. He's a good guy. Yeah. And I think overall it's gonna clean itself up overall. I like to believe so.
Yeah, thanks, man. We'll get it. We'll get them all, man. We'll get them all. Clean them up. Now, you mentioned a culture of receipts and a culture of honesty.
Yep.
Now, that makes me think of the word honor,
Yep.
obviously from honesty, but
Yep.
also the receipts. How important is honor between you and your brother and what you believe about being a man? Honor, value.
Honor was all anybody had for a long time, right? Honor was it. Honor was all it was. And even to this day, with all the businesses I run, every single one I run in Romania, everything I've launched inside the War Room, all of it is based on a handshake. I say, look, if you don't trust me enough and I don't trust you enough to put $1 million in each on this on a handshake, then we ain't doing it. I ain't doing contracts. I ain't suing people. I got shit to do. I ain't got time for that, right? So I am absolutely all about my word. That's who I am as an individual. My last name is all I have. It's all I was born with. It's all I was given. And I'm absolutely about honor as a whole. And it's disappearing from the world. And one of the biggest reasons it's disappearing from the world is because of the internet. Because the internet, we're living in a brand new time. I think it was Mike Tyson who said it. Social media has made people far too comfortable with disrespecting men. Because there's no chance of getting smashed in the face. Yeah. If you say a fraction of the things to someone's face that they're saying in these YouTube videos, it's on. Yeah. But they're just sitting there running their mouths. Yep. The worst thing about it is it's awfully feminine. Because that's what women do. Shout at each other without physical confrontation. They'll just yell for an hour and a half. That's female. In the male world, if I were to come up to you out of nowhere and start shouting, within about 3 or 4 seconds, it's on. I'm going to either attack you or you're going to attack me, right? Yep. That's what men do. So this whole, we're on the internet and everyone's just shouting at each other. It's awfully fucking feminine. It's a shame. And that's why a lot of the honor is disappearing. We need to instill some receipts. We need to instill a culture of, look, if you're going to say something, back it up. And if you don't do that, the people who are proponents of this culture and pay attention to the videos should instantly call you out on it. We need the fans and the people who watch this video. Next time you watch a video of a guy who claims something, where's the proof? Everything I say, I'll show you. You want to see pictures of my webcam studio? You want to see me and my beautiful girls? You ask for it. It's all here on my phone. Yeah, it's all there. All my cards. It's all on my Twitter accounts. All on my Instagram accounts. All there. If you're going to allow people to just grift without receipts, then you deserve what's coming to you.
That's a really good point because it's almost like voting, absent voter fraud and all this bullshit. Yeah. You get what you vote for.
Yep.
And these dudes get away with fraud because these little beta males don't fucking do anything. They don't ask for receipts.
They don't ask for receipts.
You say you're a player, show me.
Yeah,
they say that.
That's right. And they need to start doing it, right?
Yeah.
And that's one of the things, like someone said to me, there's a guy in the War Room who said something to me, and he was a member of one of these other groups, and he made a really good point, and he said, in the other groups, they're trying to build a man out of clay. And he goes, but in the War Room, you're trying to carve a man out of marble. And the point is that we have higher quality men already in our organization that we're building up. But some of these guys who fall for this crap are the bottom of the barrel, and that's why they're falling for it. But even then, this is a message to you. If you're an incel, or you're a virgin, or you're a complete loser on every human metric, you still deserve to be trained by somebody who knows what they're talking about, right? Don't be ashamed to say, show me. Or don't be ashamed to find the best coach you can find. Don't think because I'm an absolute loser and this guy's a couple levels above me, he's worth paying for. You should pay for the best regardless, right? Even though I cannot play piano, if I'm going to find a piano teacher, I want the best piano teacher I can find. I don't want to say, well, I can't play piano and he knows one song, so here's my money. That's stupid, right? So you're right. It's a culture of the guys inside the Manosphere need to start saying, where's the proof? Yeah. We need to start asking for it. Demand it, and then it'll all go away. That's what needs to happen.
Good point, very good point. Now I want to move on to something else here. I think you find this pretty interesting. You know, you're yourself a millionaire, you and your brother, millions of dollars, right? Cars, all this shit. What do you think about luck? Do you make your own luck? Do you have luck? Are you lucky to be a millionaire? What do you think about luck? How's it play into your life in becoming who you are?
I consider myself extremely lucky.
Okay.
But I also do believe you make your own luck. And I also do believe in any scenario you can view yourself as lucky or unlucky, right? I view myself as lucky. We're all lucky. The people watching this don't know that there's a few of us here, right? We've got crew and some personal security guards, some armed guys with machine guns, et cetera, et cetera. But we're all lucky. Like bacteria could have stolen our eyesight, right? Yeah. Could have gotten a car crash last week. We're all here, we're all alive, we're all breathing. So on some level, we're all lucky. And I believe if you view yourself as a lucky person, it's a more positive way to go through the world. I don't want to go too woo-woo and too, airy-fairy.
What's your vibration, bro?
Yeah, but I don't want to go completely there. But I do believe in certain things. I do believe that if you truly, truly believe something about yourself, other people can detect it, and it kind of is a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like when I was saying earlier about hey, are you mad? Are you mad? Are you mad? The self-fulfilling prophecy. If I truly, truly believed I could rip your head off with one finger, and I believed it, and you could tell I believed it with every fiber of my being, would you want me to try? Or would you be like, maybe, I don't know. He's so confident. I don't know. So if you truly believe you're lucky, if you truly believe you're an exceptional individual, if you truly believe that your life is fantastic, people will start to believe it. And if other people start to believe it, then it comes closer to being true. Does that make sense without being too airy-fairy?
So to distill it down, basically, viewing yourself as lucky is basically a healthier and a more masculine way to live as a man.
Absolutely. Why on earth are you going to go through life and believe you're an unlucky individual?
Yeah.
I don't see how that can benefit
It's a
you.
shit attitude.
Why would you think, it's kind of crazy, because I say this, the number one thing people don't have control of in their lives is their mind. But what's funny about that is, the only thing in life you can truly control is your mind. You can't control other people. You can't control the weather. You can't even control your health. Your heart might stop beating. You don't make it beat. It just goes. So it's going to turn off one day. Yep. The only thing you can control in your life is what you think in your mind. So if you're going to sit there and go, oh, I'm sad, well, you can change that if you actually try, but you don't. You just accept it, right? So people have lost control of their own minds. And I don't understand why you would allow your own mind, to take power from you. Why would you let your own mind convince you you're not a lucky person, or I'm not this, or I'm not confident? Why would you let your own mind sabotage you? Why wouldn't you reprogram your own mind to be on your team? It should be your ally, right? My mind is my ally. You can dump me in a bikini in the fucking Arctic Circle to die. 2 days later, I'm coming to your house, knocking on the door with 3 girlfriends in a Cadillac. I'm not gonna sit there and go, shit, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna be like, okay, Andrew, you're the man. I don't know what the fuck we're gonna do, but you're gonna pull this off. I really believe in that irrational self-confidence to some degree. Doesn't mean be a jackass, doesn't mean be an egomaniac. But in certain scenarios, there's absolutely no benefit to doubting yourself. When I was about to get in the cage, even if I knew the guy was a killer, there is no benefit to me thinking I'm gonna lose or I might lose. There's no benefit. If I lose, right? But you have to completely believe you're gonna win. That's the only way you're gonna do your best.
Past the finish line.
And that's right. So I would never believe I'm unlucky. I would never believe anything negative about myself, because I refuse to self-sabotage. I have enough people out in the world who want to sabotage me. I'm not gonna do it to myself.
You have haters?
Oh, a few. A few. But yeah, no, I'm absolutely an extremely lucky person. And I know I've been lucky in my life. A lot of hard work went in as well, but yeah, there's a degree of luck in everything. Yeah. But I'm an exceptionally lucky person. Of course, I'm an exceptionally lucky person.
And we're sitting here in a mansion in Miami that you rented some.
Yeah, we're in a mansion in Miami, nice. And we're doing the War Room Summit, and we've got like 50 guys here. And
how many masks are here at this place?
How many masks? 0. Yeah. I'm talking with the president of the Manosphere. Life's good, right? Life's good, and I control my mind. My mind doesn't sabotage me. My mind will never say anything negative about me or what I can do or what I've done ever.
Good stuff. Fuck yeah. Now, let's flip the table here.
Okay.
You recently tweeted the other day, I think a couple days ago, you said, the world is full of evil.
Yep.
What does that mean, and can you describe that? What does that mean? It's a pretty serious statement.
It is a pretty serious statement, and the scariest thing about evil is that most evil is done under the intention of being good.
Okay.
I don't think many people are actually, there are some, but I don't think many people are actually overtly, I want to be evil.
You think Joe Biden's evil?
I think Joe Biden actually genuinely believes he's doing a good thing.
What about Kamala?
No, they both do, which makes him evil. No. This is my point.
Okay.
Hitler believed he was doing something good.
Yeah, fair enough.
They believe they're doing good.
Point.
The number one way to see evil is when you find somebody who's completely convinced they're doing a good thing.
Yeah.
And we all believe we're doing good things,
yeah.
and some of us are, like you and I, because obviously we don't make mistakes. But some of these other fuckers believe they're doing the right thing, and they're doing completely evil things. Yeah. And all evil is under the guise of good for humanity, right? The vaccine's good for humanity. Put your mask on, good for humanity. Control everyone, good for humanity. It's evil. We see it as evil, but they really believe they're helping people.
Even these like elitist billionaires want to kill and depopulate people and shit, right?
They still think it's good for the good for the planet, good for people.
Yep.
It's good overall.
It's good for my bank account.
It's good overall, right? Yeah. So this is why when I say the world's full of evil, what I should have tweeted is the world's full of good intentions, and that's why the world's full of evil. That's why I probably should have tweeted out, because that's what I think.
There was more to the tweet. That was just the part that I took out of
it. Yeah. Good intentions from many people are evil.
Yeah.
Good intent. Feminism really genuinely believe it has good intentions. We're going to empower women. Da, 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 da. It ruins the woman's life. It makes her a hoe, and it destroys everything. It is evil, but they actually believe they're doing the right thing, and that's why they're so desperate to defend it.
They're confused when you confront them and you're like, no, feminism's stupid and gay. They're like,
Yeah.
what? You're evil. It's like, no, I'm serious.
Yeah.
Like, feminism's a pile of shit.
Yeah.
They can't believe it.
But that's why they're so hard to deprogram, because they believe they're on the right side of history.
Yeah.
Everyone believes they're on the right side of history.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, there's a lot of evil out there, but it's disguised as good intentions. So you have to really decipher what you see and what you pay attention to.
Now, the world is full of evil, that statement. Is there any relation between that and Ivan Throne's It's a Dark World? Is there a connection there?
I think there is a connection. I like Ivan. I'm a fan of Ivan's work.
Same.
Yeah, he's an awesome guy. I love the way he writes. Amazing.
I mean, is there more to the world than darkness and evil? You see a lot
There's
of good in it?
absolutely more to the world than darkness and evil, but there is no light without dark. There is no joy without pain. There's no rich without poor. There's no strong without weak, right? If everything was light all the time, then nothing would be light. It's a dark world, which is fine. If there's a dark world or it's an evil world, fine. It could be a completely dark world with one little ray of light. The light's still beautiful, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think it's actually a pessimistic or a negative statement to say it's a dark world. It's just understanding the reality of the world we live in, and you need to search and find your individual light. You need to find your individual thing that inspires you as a whole. If you just live life as a very normal guy and there's nothing about you that's exceptional, you don't have a mission or you don't have a plan, or you're not there's nothing you stick up for, and you're just floating around the evil and you're not even looking for the light, then yeah, I think it's a really evil world. Those are the most depressed people on earth, so.
Fucked up dark people, man.
Yep.
Let's talk about something a little more light. Just kidding. Let's talk about the Great Reset, Agenda 2030.
Okay.
These people want to vaccinate everybody, mask everybody, lock everybody in their home forever.
Yep.
You're going to own nothing. You're going to be happy. You're going to
Yep.
eat bugs.
Yep.
What do you think about eating bugs and all this Great Reset bullshit?
You know what I think? I really like to
Are
think.
you going to eat bugs?
I'm certainly not going to eat bugs.
Eat the bugs.
I'm not going to have to eat bugs. But I think that the people who are in charge of the world, the problem is when you have true power, is that the only thing that's interesting to you or addictive to you is more power. Everything else is boring, right? Cars and money and watches and buying things. They control all the money. They've had all this. They were born with this. They're not going to be satisfied with working hard to buy a car like a normal guy. Like there's none of that, right? The only thing they've ever enjoyed is exerting power over other people. It's the only little fix they get. So if all you've ever enjoyed is power, the only way you stop yourself being manically depressed is to feel more powerful. And that's where I think a lot of this comes from. That's why I think COVID's down to. I think there's a bunch of people who sat around in the room and goes, do you think we can make them wear masks all year? I bet we can. I bet we can. Fuck them.
It's a giant troll.
Yeah, like, of course. Why else? I'll tell you what, let's make them get a vaccine they know they don't need.
Yeah.
Let's tell them it's 99.9% survival rate, and then
That
tell them,
rewrites
and then
the
tell them
DNA.
they have to have the vaccine anyway. Ha 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 ha. Oh, look, they're doing it.
And then wear 3 masks. Then wear 3
What
masks.
morons. Put 3 masks on. Oh, look, he put 3 masks on. Like, that's all it is. And they're loving it, because besides exerting more control over the population, besides the ego trip that provides, what other satisfaction are you going to get if you're born into one of these elite families in the world? What else is going to satisfy you? Like, there's no mission, there's no hard work like us. We say there's no light without dark. I was poor, so I appreciate being rich. They've always been rich. Being rich doesn't matter, right? So the only thing they enjoy is power and control. And a lot of these things, I'm not entirely sure what the world has coming for it, but I do know one thing. More power will be exerted on us, and we will be controlled more than ever before, in whichever form it is. Corona's proven that, and the people who are in charge of the world know exactly what they're doing, and they're going to try and control us. One thing is the ego. There's another reason why I think this is going to happen, is that societies used to be judged on how free they are. Societies were respected for being free. America, land of the free, home of the brave, right? So the best countries in the world were free countries. The problem is with free countries is that when people start to, the problem is when you have a free country, people can think for themselves, supposedly, right? People can look up things themselves, they can have opinions, etc. So they controlled the narratives very carefully. The Vietnam War was started with a lie, right?
Yeah.
They controlled the narratives. And now, with the internet, they can't control the narratives nearly as easily. We can see through the lies. Without the internet, if you were only watching the news, you'd still believe in Corona.
Yep.
Like if you were stuck in your house and no internet and watching the news, you would really be scared to go outside.
Yeah.
So they can't control the narratives as easily, and that's starting to break down. So the idea of a free society is far more scary to them because they can't control people with the manipulation mechanisms they had before. So now they have to replace freedom with something else. And the only thing you can do to take a man's freedom away, the only thing he'll accept as a replacement is safety.
Yeah.
I'm going to take all your freedom, but you'll be safe. Don't worry. Put the mask on, stay at home. Da, da, da. So they're removing freedom from societies and replacing it with safety because they've lost control of the narrative. Censorship is what happens when the lies don't work anymore. And that's why there's censorship anywhere, because the lies aren't working. So let's censor them. Oh shit, the lies aren't working.
Censorship is basically just the exercise of power.
Of course it is.
To suppress things.
But if they could lie to us and we believed it, they wouldn't need to censor anybody.
Yeah.
Right? So censorship's when the lies stop working. And they're trying to remove freedom from society and replace it with security. And they're doing that because people can think for themselves now. And now we can think for ourselves and see through their bullshit. We now know money's not real. We now know the Federal Reserve's criminals. We now know the election. We know it all now. And they're like, oh shit, Corona, lock them up. No, don't let them think too much. That's what's really happening. So I think freedom's being removed from society to be replaced with safety. And that's a mechanism of control, because that's their only play left now.
Yeah.
That's their only play left.
Now, we opened up this interview talking about 2020.
Yep.
Obviously an epic year.
Yep.
Now, but a lot of people have a very negative view of it. You know, they bitch. 2020 sucked. Oh my God, 2020 is over.
Yep.
2021 sucks, but 2020 is like super shitty.
Yep.
How did you actually respond to that? Did you embrace it? Did you profit from it? How did that actually work out for you, 2020?
Yeah, so I lost a lot of money and made a lot of money simultaneously in 2020. So I opened up 15 casinos in Romania a month before Corona.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I put about $3 million in, and then Corona came, and to this day we are closed. So it's a year and 2 months now. I've been paying 15 leases. I've been paying staff. I've been paying links. So I've lost around $4.5 million because of Corona.
Damn.
But at the other end of the spectrum, with the webcam girls and that, I think I put a thread about this on Twitter where I proactively, when the casinos first shut down, I expected it would only be a month or so. But I still proactively thought, well, maybe this will go on a while. And I bet webcam goes, everyone's locked in their house, right? Even though people are supposed to be broke, if you're a true internet masturbator, you'll find money, right? Yeah. So I was like, and they're all locked in their houses. So I restarted my cam business, which I'd really tapered off to like 2 or 3 girls. I got a bunch more girls in, got 10 girls there, so I restarted the cam business. On top of that, when Bitcoin crashed really heavily, this is another tweet I put all the time on my Twitter, when Bitcoin really went off the shelf to $5,400 at the beginning of Corona, I thought, I'm gonna take a risk on this, and I threw 600 grand at it. Damn. So I made $11 million with that. So yeah, so I've lost 4, but I've made a bunch other places, because scared money doesn't make money, right? So I was like, fuck it. So I went for it hard. But yeah, all in all, I don't really even believe in if it's a good year or a bad year. I'm a chess player. My father was a chess grandmaster. I was raised as a chess player. When you're in the middle of a chess game, even if you're losing, you don't sit there and go, oh, I hate chess. That's the board, right? You got to find a move on the board. Even if the board sucks, this is the board, this is the position you're in. You have to find a move. It may not be the best move. You might still lose, but you have to do something. So when Corona came along, yeah, it hurt me in many ways, but I looked at the chessboard and go, okay, this is fucked, but the best move I believe would be to be X, Y, Z. I don't really function I don't really observe the world in a good year, bad year. I don't function. I function in reality. That's it. This is what's happening, so let's react. Yeah, let's make moves, right? So let's react to it. So it doesn't matter if Corona continues or this garbage continues for 5 more years or it ends tomorrow. Either way, I'll survive. So I'll be fine.
I love it, man. I really love I told you this like in 2019 in Poland, but I'll say it again, like what you and your brother bring to the Manosphere and just existing. I love it.
Thank you, man.
Just savagery and just fucking making moves and shit. There's not enough of this.
Well, we're unapologetic, and I know we're fortunate because we have a bit of money and because we live in Romania and we can't be canceled or doxxed or all these things. So we are fortunate, and that's also one of the reasons why I feel I have a duty to say a lot of the things I say. Yeah. Because I know I can say them. I know people think them, but they can't say them because they're a teacher or whatever. Probably not a teacher, but you know what I mean. But
you're making the world a better place.
Yeah, I'm doing my best. Yeah, I'm doing my best. And I really, as much as people hate on me, I like to really consider myself a positive person. I really want men to listen to what I say and feel empowered, maybe a little bit annoyed about the realities of the world, but empowered about doing something about it and about controlling themselves and controlling their mind and feeling better about how they can approach life. I really believe in spreading positivity as a whole. I want everyone to be happy. I want to spread positivity. I want everyone to have a positive interaction with women. I'm not out here trying to make anyone feel negative or do negative things on any level. Yep. But sometimes the things I say and the way I deliver them are just upset people regardless. So it is what it is. But
yeah, man. So one of the last questions here, you going to fight again in the future in fighting?
I am going to fight again. So I retired officially 4 years ago. I officially retired. And then last year I had 3 fights anyway because I was offered a fight last minute. And I was offered a fight last minute. I've been retired for 4 years. I only train for fun. I don't train competitively. I smoke cigars. I drink vodka. I'm not living a fighter's life at all. And when I was offered that fight, I was scared. I was nervous. And I was like, I haven't trained. I don't know if I should do it. And I sat there for an hour and I thought, I always viewed myself as a man who's never afraid of physical confrontation. And once I realized I was afraid, it really bothered me. It bothered my self-image. I was like, so that's who I am now? And seeds of doubt grow into forests of inaction. That's what happens, right? And maybe next time it's going down somewhere, in the street, it's different because it's emotional. It's actually much easier to fight in the street than it is in the cage. Because the street, you're mad about something or you have no choice because they attack you. But the cage is very premeditated, so it's actually scarier. Because you have nothing against the guy. It's just kind of like, oh, shit.
It's planned.
Yeah, it's planned, so it's kind of scarier. But I knew that seeds of doubt grew into forests of inaction, and I really didn't like that when I read that text message, the first thing I felt was nerves. I didn't like that at all. So for that reason, I had to say yes.
Yeah.
For that reason, I was like, now I have to fight. Because if
because
if I don't fight, it's going to be bothering me in the back of my head, was I scared? And I don't want to live as a man who believes he was afraid. I can't live that way. I can't function thinking, was I afraid that time? So I had to say yes. So I went and whooped his ass. Now, if you watch the video, I look calm as a cucumber, but I was scared. I hadn't been in the cage for 4 years, and I hadn't trained in a very long time, right? But obviously, I have a lot more experience than the guy. I was a 4-time world champion. The guy's only had 10 fights. I've had 90 fights.
Yeah.
But he's in fight shape. I'm not. But yeah, I whooped him, and for that reason, I took 2 more fights after that. So I'm taking fights now. I know I shouldn't do this. I'm taking fights without training.
Yeah.
And
rolling the dice, man.
Just rolling the dice. But I'm fighting guys who are not as experienced as me.
Okay.
But I'm doing it almost because this is a new challenge. Because I know if I were to do an 8-week training camp, I wouldn't be afraid. This is a new challenge. Am I calm enough in my mind? Am I brave enough in my mind to enter the cage? Literally after getting drunk and smoking cigars. Now it's almost like a new spin on it for me, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I've done the train hard and fight thing at the best in the world. And now I'm not fighting the best in the world. I'm fighting whoever. But it's just like, yeah, if you're about it, you're about it. I've never said no to any fight in my life. Any professional fight in my life, I've never said no to. On the street, I'm the absolute opposite. I really try and stay calm and stay out of violence because you never know who you're fucking with, right? And you never know if they're ready to die. So if someone says something to me on the street, I'm very much like, sorry, my friend, sorry. Okay, no problem, I'll leave, no problem.
There's weapons, knives,
Yeah. You know, he might have 20 friends, you don't fucking know. I'm very apologetic. The very few incidents I've had on the street were because I had no choice.
So you would say you're a nice guy?
I'm a super nice guy. I'm not, look, the morgue is full of fucking egos. I ain't going there early. So outside of the cage, I'm very, very apologetic. But inside the cage, I've never said no to any fight in my life. So I had to say yes. So that's why I fought, because I was afraid. So I had to go do it.
So in your view, men should be very comfortable with conflict in life, physical or otherwise?
Absolutely. I think that the basic tenet of masculinity since the dawn of human time was your ability to fight. That was all men were for. It's all we ever did. Men were warriors.
But fighting's not always physical.
No, it's not always physical. But you have
strategy,
to. But you have to be comfortable with conflict.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're a man and you're afraid of conflict on every level, then you're not very good as a man overall, right? As a man, you have to be able to adopt conflict or deal with conflict.
Yep.
That's what masculinity is. That's all it's ever been.
These people fuck with me and they think I'm not going to do anything. It's like, motherfucker, like, what do you think? Of course I'm going to fuck with you back. Like, you can start shit. Like,
yep.
Because, you know, it's strategy, it's warfare, it's conflict, starting shit, yeah.
And it's kind of like, you're protecting the sphere in a way that not enough people give you credit for.
Thanks, man.
And I really mean that, because if you didn't protect the sphere at all, it would just be a complete shit show.
Yep.
You know, there's enough shit show already. So if there was nobody calling anybody out, it would just be a complete.
We're gonna drain the swamp, drain the Mano swamp.
Drain the swamp. Yep. That's right.
The Mano purge is getting started, man. I'm feeling good about it. 2021. It's the year of 21, man.
Drain the swamp.
It's our 15-year anniversary too, man.
Oh, awesome.
You know, I have a lot of fans, by the way, that ask me about Cobra Tate. He's gonna speak at 21.
I need to do it. I need to do it. I know I need to do it. One of these days I will be at 21 Convention. Maybe this year. But one of these days I'll certainly be at 21 Convention. It's definitely going to happen. I look forward to it, and I don't even know what I'm going to talk about yet. But once I start talking, I usually just keep going. So it'll be fine. I'll work it out, and I'll make sure I give the guys some value. But
Your brother's welcome too, man.
Yep.
We got one this October, 21 Summit, 3 events, 15-year anniversary, Orlando.
Okay.
It ain't no Miami, but it's pretty close.
Yeah.
You know? We ain't got no waterfront, but we got Disney World and shit, shit
cool.
like that. So
Cool.
Good stuff, man.
Work it out.
Last question, what's in your future? What's on the horizon next year, 5 years? What do you have what should the fans know about what you have kind of plans you have coming up?
I'm at the point in my life now where I only have 2 serious goals, and one of those goals is to try and enjoy things more.
Okay.
Which sounds stupid, but genuinely, I'm at a point where it's kind of a struggle to enjoy my own successes because I'm so programmed to work hard all the time. I'll give you an example. This is a complete first world problem, right? This is going to piss a few people off, but it's true. I was in Dubai recently. I bought a $400,000 watch. I bought a $400,000 diamond watch in Dubai. No, different one. I wouldn't wear that to America without the weapon, right? So it's in a safe in
I got you, man.
Yeah, you're here. Perfect. So I bought a $400,000 watch, and I was at a dinner, which was going to cost at least $10,000, and it was me and my friend, and we had these 4 girls with us, and I'm on my phone just working, and I sat and goes, you know what? If I can't buy a $500,000 watch and go to a $10,000 dinner and just at least pretend to enjoy myself, without being worried about work or bigger things, because most things in the world, especially rich people shit, is garbage. It's all garbage, right? Champagne, caviar, it's all crap.
Stuffy assholes.
It's stupid. It's just it's stupid. No one needs a watch that costs so much money. It's dumb. But you do it because it's like status signaling, and I think status signaling overall is probably good for an individual. If you can signal you're a high status guy, you meet high status people. But one of the goals of my life is to try and slow my brain down and act a little bit more stupid and enjoy things that I'm supposed to enjoy. That's one of my goals. The other goal is to have a large family. I want 20 sons, one way or another. We're gonna get that done.
Take the patriarch.
Take the patriarch. Yeah, no, 100%. I'm gonna have 20 children at least, and we're gonna get that done. Andrew, all of them. And
you want to know something funny, man? I'm gonna name my first son Andrew.
Oh, really?
Yeah, not related, but
okay,
it's
good.
It's
Well,
name.
that's a good name. It's a pretty good name. Yeah.
My whole life, people call me Andrew.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Yeah, it's weird.
You look like an Andrew, I guess.
I guess, yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna have some children, and besides that, that's it. Stay alive, keep breathing, laugh every day, smile, and not let negativity get to me in any way. Like, I really think there's too many people out here who can let negativity affect them. And I'll say this: there's been like a couple videos made about me and these things, but you can say whatever you want about me. I'm gonna smile.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. Even if I reply, I'll fuck with you back, but I'm happy. You can't piss on my Cheerios.
Yeah.
I'm a happy individual. I'm a contented individual. It doesn't matter what you say or what you try and do. You cannot bring me down. And I will continue to live my life that way to the day I die.
Do not piss on Andrew's Cheerios, guys.
Do not piss on my Cheerios.
Yes. Andrew, I appreciate your time. It's been a great interview. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I think it's good stuff.
Thank you.
Everyone else, thanks for tuning in to 21 Studios. Hit like and subscribe. I appreciate it. See you next time. This has been Andrew Tate. And your website is cobratate.com?
Cobratate.com.
Yeah, check it out. Yeah, cobratate.com and in the description. See you guys next time. This has been Anthony Johnson from 21 Studios in Miami, Florida. Peace.